In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
Hey man, I'm 2-0 on these things in 2026, baby.
You have turned the tide for sure. Because at the beginning of the season, when Luke Hatmaker signed up for a post-game bounce, it was
lost.
Absolutely a scheduled loss. Like
Yeah,
we knew,
scheduled
shit, just get ready. Here it comes. Yep. Here's another one. But you've turned it around, bro. I don't know what I think it's the glasses.
That's true. I get a hole in my contacts and then I don't have health insurance and all of a sudden everything's coming up Luke right now. It's great.
That's so funny, man. Shout out to you, Luke. How are you, man?
I'm good, dude. And man, I would have been good no matter what, to be perfectly honest, because the Bears won yesterday.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I mean,
Can we? Okay, we're going to talk about this game at the end of the show. I will ask you about the Chicago Bears game last night.
Give it to me because I'm ready now. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it. I wasn't ready, but I'm ready, and I would have been happy no matter what, man. But they won, so I'm like extra happy. You know, like I get to talk about 2 wins, 2 dubs.
Super duper happy. Yeah, I was fully expecting today to be a day with about, I guess, 2 minutes left in the game. I was fully expecting today to be a day where we were going to get on a Sunday, a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Memphis. So probably a beautiful Sunday afternoon where you are in Nashville.
Yep.
And just be like, man, like what a terrible day for Memphis sports, because the Tigers went on the road to FAU and got their doors blown off by FAU, a pretty terrible FAU basketball program.
Pretty bad.
And then with about 2 minutes left in the game, Luke, with the Grizzlies, they were down by 8 points.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh no, this is going to be so bad.
What happened? What happened?
Why me? Right.
And Pete kept being like, the Nets are going to do something they've not done all season. Win a game. Then it would be like some random stat, but even Pete was like, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? We have to win this one. And they did. I mean, what did they close it out? They closed it out like on a set, not a set. When did Brooklyn didn't score a shot in the final like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, the Grizzlies went on a 13-0 run after
13-0.
being down by 8 points with like 2 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game. The Grizzlies went off and they scored 13 points in 2 minutes and 34 seconds to beat the Brooklyn Nets 103-98. So shout out to him, man. Like, as we've discussed throughout this entire time period, like what the Grizzlies, like we had, Rusty and I had this conversation the other day. The Grizzlies play really, really well for the first 3.5 quarters. But at some point, this is the NBA, this winning time. At some point, winning time happens, and you got to have somebody step up. And it's been the frustration I think we felt with Jaren this year, and it's also been the frustration over the last 3 years that we've seen with Ja Morant not being available to the team due to injury or suspension or whatever. Is the Grizzlies have invested a lot of money into two guys who are meant to be the closers during winning time, and they haven't been available.
Yeah.
And that's been really, really frustrating. And it felt like, once again, with like 2 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game, I felt like we were going down that path again, Luke.
Yep. And I think everybody saw it. It felt like everybody was seeing ghosts. I mean, Brev on the broadcast was like, all these guys, man, they're all these guys on this team are really good, but they're all being asked to do something they're not supposed to do. They're all being asked to be those guys that make all that money.
Right. Jalen said, I thought we was finna be discussing a loss. You ain't never lied, bro. I had it already locked and loaded. I had to go.
Yeah, we had the banners ready.
I had to change some banners because I was like, oh God, they did it. Right.
Yep.
Shout out to all y'all who are in the comment section. 269 of you are in here watching the show right now. There'll be a lot more of you later on. Please, man, when we're live, we love having you guys in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Luke's on the daily grind every morning, Monday through Friday.
Say Sunday.
No, not Sundays. We're not adding Sundays. 7:30 in the morning. Let me just tell you, you had your flu game the other day, dude.
Hey, man, I was ready. Nobody knows it. Jared doesn't even know it, and he was on there with me.
You had your flu game. I'm super impressed. Like, you're just an impressive guy, man. By the way, you've announced it, right? The big news from the Christmas holidays. I have. Shout out, dude.
Your bowl?
Huh?
Oh, no. Sorry.
What?
I thought. Go ahead. I love the Pop-Tart Bowl almost as much as my fiance, and so I've talked about it a lot since New Year's Eve.
You're betrothed, bro.
I am betrothed to be wed like a princess at a party.
You look like a princess. I mean,
I've dreamt of this day my whole life.
Bro, I'm so happy. And by the way, can I just be honest with you? Bro, shout out to you for out-punting your coverage, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. Dude, she's not in the house right now.
Dude.
You have no idea. No idea. I'm like, she definitely settled in like the most, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just happy I was invited. You know?
Like what? How did you, I mean, you're a smooth talker, but how?
It took, I mean, we've known each other for 18 years, so it just took, I play the long game, brother. 18-year long game.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. You finally reeled her in. She's like, crap. There ain't nobody else out here.
Yep.
You're a good man.
She got to witness, look, I'm going to come back to it. She watched the Bears with me last night. And in the final 2 minutes, I said, listen, baby, you might want to leave the room. And I was perfectly calm. I was like, I was like, look, I love you, but you're about to see something that you can't unsee. And I would just like you to leave the room because I know this is something that, I quit drinking, but a big reason why I quit drinking is Chicago Bears. So I was like, you just need to leave the room. And then as soon as that happened, I think I lose all wits about me. I just start going, and I start like banging my chest. And I'm not an aggro guy. So she got to witness a very aggro, stupid side of me yesterday, and I'm glad
she still loves you,
and she still loves me. And I came up and made a pot of coffee at halftime, and I was like, "Oh, we're not a good basketball team." And she was like, "Is Jitty back?" And I said, "Yeah, he is back. He's back."
Well, it might be that she loves you and she sees through your flaws and says, "You know what? I love you anyway." Or it could be, as Wayno says, moving does suck. She don't want to move out.
That's what it is.
Could that possibly be what it is? Hold on. We got a big head in the studio. I'm gonna bring him in here. Big head.
I was summoned.
Were you summoned? Who were you summoned?
I heard, nah, Luke, you can't not tell me you're sick on Friday, my brother.
I'm sorry. I got sick and then I was like, oh man, I didn't want to tell you because we were having such a good show.
Nah, man. Grizz win, baby.
Grizz win 103-98. Let's get to this game, guys. Obviously, in the first quarter, it started off with a phenomenal Cedric Coward first quarter. I mean, he's turning into a ball player, guys. Like, I mean, he's becoming a real legitimate threat on the offensive end of the floor for the Grizzlies.
It feels so cliche to say it, but it's like in front of our eyes, we're watching. Like, that's such a cheesy thing to say, but it really does feel like when you watch games like this, you're like, okay, I mean, Kenny, you have a child. I
do.
Jared, you have whiskey. It's the same thing.
Whiskey's by the way, whiskey's a dog, not the drink, right? Like,
yes,
Jared doesn't look at whiskey the drink the way I look at my kids. I just throw that out.
Good. It's a good point.
I don't know. If the Grizzlies would have lost, tonight, I would have definitely been looking at it like that.
Exactly.
Yep. You get that point where you start to see them figure stuff out, where you're like, oh, they get it. Like when you I shouldn't have equated children and dogs, because now the analogy is going to get off the rails really quick. But like when you see your child like start to read or count, or when you see your dog figure out how to go outside when it's ready to go outside. That's the
how to not shit in the house.
That's the first example I could think of. But like,
he actually goes to the door and like alerts you that he needs to go out.
Yes, when you watch Cedric Coward not shit in the house, it's pretty great. You know, like that's what we're saying.
That's in reference to the to the new tat.
oh yeah.
Oh man. No, obviously had he's just playing well and doing a lot of really good things for this Grizzlies team. And I do want to ask you guys a question, and I think it's a natural conversation that we need to have. Even though we're celebrating tonight, we're celebrating a Grizzlies win. Even though it sounds like Big Matt's not. Big Matt says, woohoo, we beat the Nets. We're definitely winning a championship now. That's all I hear when I hear that. Listen, I know Matt's probably joking around, and I don't think any of us are sitting here going, this team is good. I think we're all in the same boat that this team in the current iteration that it is right now with the players that are available, they're not very good, right? Like, they're not a very good basketball team. So we celebrate wins. We celebrate small things, right? Like, you
got to celebrate them in any way you get them.
Exactly. Yep. Right. That's why we're excited. They lost 6 out of their last 7, and now they just won another. So I mean, we haven't had many wins to celebrate at BCM at post game bounce in a while. So I'm happy to be here with you guys as we celebrate this win. But shout out to Cedric. We had a whole group chat going, and there's a lot of conversation around the idea of cooling Ced off, right? Cedric Coward came out balling. He came out scoring a lot of points and then set for a while in that first quarter into the second quarter. Came back and looked just relatively, like just a normal basketball player. Kind of cooled him off on his own. I heard even in that first quarter, Pete Pranica was like, Ced is they're trying to cool Ced off, and my immediate thought process was, well, Isolo did it himself because he pulled him.
Don't got to try to do anything.
He ain't got to do much. Nope. He's off. What are y'all's thoughts? Is that a thing, or is it just the natural progression of how these things work in a game?
I mean, so I turned on the game a little bit late, kind of like right at the tail end when Ced got subbed out in the first quarter. But I looked at the box score with like a minute and a half. The Nets had only played 6 guys in the first quarter left, and we had played 8 or 9 at that point. So it is definitely a point to talk about. I mean, he kind of is robotic. Ced has consistently come out right around the 5 to 6 minute mark every single game that he has started this year. But I was trying to find the exact time he got subbed out with like 5:57 left. I'm trying to figure out when he came back in. He came back in early in the second, but yeah, that almost 6 minute stretch of him not playing in game time definitely cooled him off, especially when you have a guy who starts 5 of 6 and 3 of 3 from 3.
Is that a thing, Luke? Luke, is that a thing for you? Like, would you, if he's on a heater like that, if you are Tomas Isolo light, right? Like, you look like him, y'all have the same. Yeah, I mean, y'all look a lot alike. If you had the choice, if you were on that sideline with that freshly coiffed hair, would you have pulled Ced, or is that something that would you have stuck to your guns in terms of your rotations, or do you just go, you know what, man? Like, let's keep let's keep this hot dude out there right now.
I would have read the room today. I mean, you got to read the room every day, but like if I'm TI, you're about to go to Berlin. You desperately need this. I would say God, they kept even talking about it on the broadcast. They were like, this is going to be a long trip, a long plane ride. If they're flying out in like probably an hour or so. I mean, they were going right after the game to fly out. I imagine they'll shower, get ready, whatever. But like, that was being awful, 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 awful plane ride. I would have been like, to hell with it. If I was TI, I would have said to hell with it and kept him in. Like I would have been like, okay, my coaching isn't working. That's not how he sounds. It's not working. I need to keep the one guy that can actually create offense for himself and leave him in this situation. But I think Big Matt might be right. He didn't really seem to he didn't have a feel for it today.
It kind of reminds me of, you go to the football standpoint of this, where you script out your first 11 to 15 plays of a game, whether you score in 7 plays or you are long and methodical on the first drive and take up 12 of those 15 plays. After that, that's when you go into field. You can be methodical in the first 4 to 5 minutes of a game, but after that, you got to throw everything out the window. You got to go off field. Who's hot that game? If someone comes off the bench and they're hot, give them more allotted minutes. If said, for an example, starts hot, you leave him in there more often than not. And then you work your game plan around that. So just to kind of compare the two, considering I was watching both football and the Grizzlies game today. Especially
when you are so roster depleted, when you are, when your main guy is not on the floor, who hasn't been on the floor, when your main guy's not out there, it definitely feels like there's an idea that you ride as much as you possibly can until he calls for a substitution, right? Like, hey, man, I'm fucking blowing gas here, bro. I got to get out of the game, right? Like, you got to get me out of here. That to me is something that I know Matt said T.I. can't coach by feel. We've seen him coach by feel late in the games. Like, we've seen him do those things at times. It was our biggest complaint last year about Taylor Jenkins, was that 100%. It felt like there was not a coaching by feel. And truth be told, on January 11th, 2026, on a Sunday afternoon, game whatever number it is, there are you have to script a lot of stuff out as you are kind of moving, especially as you're heading off overseas for about a week. You've got to script things out. This is how coaches do their thing. But in that moment, I do understand that the necessity to say, like, especially when you need a win so badly, just to get on the right side of things, because you keep losing the conversation. Let's be frank about it. You keep losing the conversation around John Morant amongst Grizzly fans continues to be in a upheaval, uproar about firing everybody but the guy who's not played much this year. So I think that's where that's if I'm Isolo, I'm also thinking about, and maybe this is why I'm not an NBA head coach, I'm also thinking about, I got to get this thing on the right side of history for me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's oh my God, what's the word? He's God, there's something fancy that I can't think of. Self-preservation. He's got it at this point, it's self-preservation. I got there.
It feels like it, though.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, with all the news and reports that are coming out about what's going on with this team, in some ways, especially as a first-year rookie head coach, with
a reputation coming out of Europe that's pretty good,
that was handpicked by the GM, who is on everybody's shit list right now. Like, there is a self-preservation mode to it. And I guess, like, at some point there's got to be a little bit of selfishness to, like, hey, Cedric Coward's freaking balling out, dude. I gotta play him a lot more.
Yes. Yeah. And that's my thing. Like, at this point, if I'm him, you hit your wagon to the Cedric Coward horse and just be like, all right, buddy, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Floor's yours.
I mean, he obviously, Cedric, and we could talk about the closing out of the game. Cedric hit Cedric hit 2 big threes.
Yeah.
And brought the Grizzlies back to and played really, really hard defense, brought the Grizzlies back from an 8-point deficit in the final 2 minutes and 34 seconds and played a massive role in them winning this game. So shout out to him for stepping up in winning time.
And that sequence with, Cam hits Ced hits a 3, Cam hits a 3, and then Ced again off the offensive rebound. Also, shout out Cam Spencer, 6 assists in that fourth quarter as well. And I want to know how many of those came on that 13-0 run to finish the game.
Is there a way? Yeah, we need to look at that because that.
Give me 2 seconds.
I know listen, when Jared said we need to look at it, I mean, that means Jared's going to look at it because he is the stat guru. Cam again only had how many points? 12 points, was 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. Taking over the lead guard role during this time period. 12 assists, only 3 turnovers, 4 rebounds. I mean, just showing that while he might not be the answer moving forward as a guy who can start at the point guard position for the Memphis Grizzlies, he is a guy you can trust, right? Like, he's just balling out.
Okay, so I like this. So speaking of, this is the dog days of the season, and we're trying to string together anyone we can. Do you think that who can you trust in these games that are playing? Because I imagine a fully healthy unit. You get Ty Jerome back, you get Zach Edey back.
Ready?
Like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Cam Spencer scored or assisted on 8 of the 9 made baskets in the fourth quarter.
It's awesome, man.
That's awesome. That's the stat that just makes you giggle.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just phenomenal play by Cam Spencer. He has been balling out since he's been taking over the starting position, the starting role for the Memphis Grizzlies. Really good work by him.
Mike doesn't trust no one. Sorry, Mike doesn't trust anybody if we're playing a good team.
There you go, Mike.
Fair enough, Mike. Fair enough. Okay.
I love the freak outs, the crash outs. It's so fun. We've had many a crash out on this show. Rusty and I talked about this on the last post game bounce, and we talked about because Isalo came out post game and said, it looks like this roster, we just don't have a 3-level scorer, a guy that you can go to in the fourth quarter to get those buckets. A lot of folks have taken that as T.I. kind of standing up for himself and taking shots at Zach Kleiman for this roster. Do y'all see it that way?
Yes and no. Because go ahead, Luke.
I just don't think I just think, and this is no shot at him. I just think that he's finished. I think it might just be lost in translation. I think that he's literally I don't think he's trying to be that catty about it. I think he's just being like, I don't have one. Sorry. It sounds like I'm blaming someone, but I'm just telling you how I feel logically about the roster.
Is he telling the truth, Luke? Is he telling the truth in your opinion?
I think Cedric Coward is proving that he can be a 3-level scorer. I think that honestly, without Cedric becoming that guy and without John Morant playing, I think he's absolutely right. We do not have a 3-level scorer, but Cedric can be that guy. I mean, Rusty was talking in our group chat, like he can be that 3-level scorer. If he just continues taking the steps towards that, like I said, keep putting all the pieces together, like the dog that learns to shit outside.
I said yes and no, kind of for the same reason as Luke, but also too, like he kind of had a big play in what we heard all offseason, that he had a hand in structuring this roster. He handpicked Jock Landale, and we see how that's flourishing for him. One of the better acquisitions for the Grizzlies. If we did not have Jock this year, we'd probably have a few more losses in the loss category. I say Jock has affected games positively, as of late, especially with Edey being out. But I mean, yes, it's in a slight, but also too, like Luke said, probably just lost in translation a little bit. So that's why I say yes and no.
He's so, I love watching him talk because it's like, what?
Yeah. I do think and Wayno said it. He said becoming that guy he's only going to learn by doing it, right? That's why I was okay with the OKC ending and today. I agree with that. Like it is very clear to me that T.I. not only has gained trust in Cedric since the beginning of the season, he also now trusts him to be the guy they're going to force feed in the fourth quarter to get the buckets they need in winning time. As much as our good friend Drew Gann, co-host of the 2 Buck Sports Show at 11 on Monday through Friday on the BCM Network, says, he talked about the communist offense from last year. In a lot of ways, the first 3.5 quarters for this team is also kind of a communist offense, right? Where everybody gets to eat, everybody gets to, they run things that kind of accentuate the entirety of the roster. Mm-hmm. But in the winning time, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter all the way to the end of the game, you've got to have a guy. You have to. Yeah. And it's very clear that Cedric Coward is assuming that role for T.I. on this roster. And you're going to have days where like you're going to have it with the Oklahoma City game where things turned out the way they turned out. And that challenge that T.I. called lost them a timeout. And so they didn't have a timeout to get to, reset the offense once Cedric got stuck by Alex Caruso. He was being guarded by a guard who has effectively shut Nikola Jokic down in playoff series, right?
Literally gotten away with murder.
Effectively shut down Jaren Jackson Jr., a guy who guards as physically as a guard as anybody in this league, and Alex Caruso. You saw them go to Cedric Coward, and it just didn't work out. Well, tonight it did. It wasn't a game-winning shot, but it was a game-altering stretch of minutes for Cedric Coward where they put the ball in his hands and he took it home for the Grizzlies. And those are big growth moments because I guarantee you the next time, just like Wayno was saying, the only way you're going to be able to learn how to do it is just to do it. And I guarantee you the next time that it happens, Cedric Coward will absolutely have more confidence based on this game tonight.
Yeah. And well, gosh, it's all speculation. I was going to say these games coming up, the Berlin games, it's going to be like, I got to think, are these going to be the largest scale? Are these being hugely televised? I'm not sure what the deal is.
One's on Prime and one is on Prime and the other is
I mean, it's going to be the chance for a global audience to see.
Cedric they're both on Prime. So yeah, it's a big global audience.
Cool. Yeah. I'm excited.
Dude, we have 4 days without the Grizzlies playing basketball. Too.
That's weird.
It's very weird.
DK Insurance 23, shout out to you for being in here. Shout out to, I haven't seen you in here before on the post-game bounce, or at least commenting. Shout out to you for commenting. If you got any questions, any thoughts, feel free to throw them in the comment section. He says the team's so random rotations, random offense. I don't understand the basketball strategy. I actually kind of disagree with this because I think they're not random rotations. They're pretty much clear set in stone when players come in, when players come out. Cedric coming out with 5 minutes or 5:57 in the first quarter is a part of his normal rotation. That is what Isolo does every single game, which is why I think most folks are frustrated because they're saying the dude had 13 points in the first 7 minutes of this ball game. Keep him in and let's go, right? Like keep him in and let's see how long we can milk this. But if you watch the games, normally Jaren and Ced come off with about 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And then Ced comes back at the start of the second quarter. Mm-hmm. Jaren comes back with about 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And so there's that's kind of a set in stone rotation. So it's not really necessarily that random. And I think that's the biggest frustration that people have is that it's not random, that they wish it was more random.
Because
I think everyone wishes it's based on feel.
Yes. I mean, like, and you pick your spots, brother. You got to pick your spots. You're like tonight's the game where you pick your spot and you're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, 13 points in 7 minutes. Let that sucker ride. Just be like, why pulling him? I don't know. And I think that we will see maybe, I mean, shoot, maybe the more desperate T.I. gets, the more that we start seeing him coaching a little bit more with that feel and instinct. You know, I mean, he's got to get better with these challenges. Good God. Like the one tonight, he should have, the one that I think everybody watching everybody could see that that foul, that Jaren's fourth foul at the very beginning of the third. It was like, come on, man, that one was one where it's like, you got to be ready to challenge that. Cause then Jaren was out the entire third. That was when we were up by 11 at the half.
Yep.
And then we just had no offense to speak of in that third because Jaren was 4 fouls deep, dummy.
Hey, I want to say shout out to Edward for showing up in the comment section today. Edward.
Well.
Hello there, Green Bay Packer fan. Luke is not he's been in a gloat mode, but we're holding off on the Bears conversation for a second. But shout out to you, Edward, for being here after dropping just a doozy of a game last night with the Packers. But shout out to you, man.
I need cheese.
I want to there's one more, maybe I wouldn't even call it negative conversation I want to have and then I want to have an appreciation night for 1 second. The Grizzlies now lead the league in double-digit leads.
It sucks so bad.
Up by 11 at the half, down by, what was the third quarter score? They only scored 16 points in the third quarter.
Yep.
Gave up. They were up by 16 at one point, lost that lead in the third quarter, and then got into a nail-biter with Brooklyn the rest of the way before Brooklyn started to push the lead out. They were up by 8 with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left, and then came back and Grizzlies won the game. Why do the Grizzlies surrender so many double-digit leads?
Why, God?
Like, what's going on?
That's the question, isn't it? That's the question.
Yeah.
I do not know. God, it's really, it's a very troubling stat. This one is really difficult for me to wrap my head around because I'm like, if you have the guy who keeps his foot on the gas, does this happen? But we're trying to figure out if we have that guy, and as we're said might be becoming that guy, but right now that there's a vacant spot for that dude. And until you have that guy that can close these games out, I mean, I think it's just going to keep happening. You know, like when you have teams with guys like Anthony Edwards, this doesn't happen. Or guys
not as frequently, right?
Not as frequently.
Right.
That's a good. Let me stop. Not as frequently.
Jared, your thoughts? What do you think?
It goes into that spot too. It can be tied into a lot of different things. I mean, Wayno, that's a decent point, but like even then, when we've been majorly healthy this year, we still surrendered some big leads. So that's still a thing. It could be coaching, could be some of these robotic rotations early in the games that kind of keep these games close in general, and to where our double-digit leads that are like 10 or 11 don't become almost 20-point leads, and we kind of just step on their throat. But then again, it all comes down to having that guy. And guess what? We haven't had that guy this year, whether it's, off of injury or whether it's been because we just don't have a dude like that on the roster. But to me, it's just a thing. It's a combination of A, not having a dude, and B, not having a coach who coaches based on feel. It kind of goes hand in hand a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, when you have I think we have a lot of conversations around what, T.I.'s coaching, John Morant. We have conversations around Cedric Howard's growth. Where's Jaren Jackson Jr. in the fourth? Those kinds of conversations. I think those conversations would be absolutely different if we had a healthy roster, right? Mm-hmm. Like from the beginning of the year, I think 4 games in, we had a hardship exception coming our way, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was an immediate thing. You have multiple dudes out with injury, multiple guys that are major rotation minute guys. And so I do think that there's a lot of fairness to what Wayno is saying when he says we're surrendering leads because of the end of our bench guys are playing. There's a reason they're there. And so I do believe that to be the case. I also think in a lot of ways, there is an issue, and Brevin put it, I think, pretty eloquently in that third quarter, we complain about the defense a lot during these surrendering of lead moments, but it's really the offense that just goes completely stagnant.
Yeah, it's
and isn't that what having the guy out there can help alleviate? Because then you just put the ball in his hands and say, go make magic happen, right? Which is why Ja Morant is the guy that he is in the NBA, because how many times when things have gotten stagnant over the years has Ja Morant done some crazy shit that made things just go completely haywire and turn and flip on its head for in the Grizzlies' favor?
Because whether it's whether it's a single play or he manufactures a 6-0, 8-0 run by himself that all of a sudden gets you back energized and the team back energized and you have some life, and whether you lose that game or not, you're fighting the rest of the game, because like Kenny just alluded to, it's because Ja in the past has been able to be that guy to make a play. And I will say, like, the whole injury thing right now, kind of lost my thought on this one, but slew of players on the roster. Anyways, but some of these double-digit blown leads are to teams like the Nets, like the Wizards, to where we shouldn't really have to have. Two of them are against the Wizards, and we're going to play CJ McCollum twice more this year too now. So anyways, besides the point. But it's some of those things where, like, we're doing it against teams we shouldn't be doing it to. I understand doing it against the Thunder, no matter who they have healthy. I understand that. But doing it against bottom feeders, kind of like we did last year, we are becoming said bottom feeder here as we speak, even though we won tonight. It shouldn't be, we shouldn't be blowing these leads, whether we have a fully healthy roster or not, into the bench or not. Because I still think with this roster constructed, our end of the bench is better than teams right now with the Wizards. And my heat's kicked on. It sounds like the house about to burn down. But
that's the worst. I think that our end of bench guys have proven to be so good that they are making the Grizzlies incapable of falling fully into that bottom feeding tier of teams.
No one thought Cam was going to be getting these minutes.
Exactly. Like case in point, you look at, we've got Cam and we've got Jock and we've got Santi, who have all kind of proven that they can really hang and do their thing along with Cedric. And it's, you look at how this game ended. Final possession, the Brooklyn Nets have it. Plenty of time to do something. They're all just draining like three. I think the Grizzlies role players are too good up here to make them in games like that. I think that they're still, that's the dregs of the league for me. But decisions like that, the Wizards can do dumb stuff like that too. And like the Pelicans will do dumb stuff like that. I think that the talent on this roster and the basketball IQ of some of these guys is just too good to keep them in the basement completely.
Our end of bench guys have had to play so much early on in the season that now we've had conversations on this network about if we ever get to a point where we are fully healthy. This was before obviously the trade stuff came out, that we're gonna have to offload some guys. Pause, because we're gonna have a lot of depth at certain positions like point guard, because this team, when healthy, can be a really good team, that we're going to have to get rid of some guys to make room for this upcoming draft, because we have guys who are so good and would be valuable to other teams.
Yeah. Let me find this comment. Big Matt says, exactly, Kenny, why trade Ja before we see this team at full strength? Completely a dumbass move. I guess my only question to you would be, like, Ja's never available to play, right? Like, and so the how much, especially when there's an extension on the table that is a guaranteed max extension, why trade him before we see this team at full strength? Because unfortunately, Ja's never at full strength. It feels like, is that a fair statement to make? Like, and I think, the second part of it would be, I firmly believe this. I think that the coaching staff and the front office think they've got a guy in Cedric Coward that can be that 3-level into the game kind of guy that we all expected Ja to be for this team. And so because of that, now they're more willing to have those conversations about potentially moving off him. Wayno's right. No one's been traded yet, but it looks like all signs are pointing to that. And I think Cedric's emergence has allowed for that conversation to be more readily available for Zach Kleiman to have, and not be like, oh my God, if I do this, we're blowing this whole thing up.
Yeah. And could get
Ghost.
to a point. Oh no, I told Amy to turn it off because the light's flickering and I'm smelling something burnt, so I'm kind of scared. But no, I think everyone's kind of in the same camp of the best. They want a scenario where the jaw stuff gets worked out and he can be back on the floor consistently and be the player that he once was. That's what everyone would want. But I'm afraid we are at a spot to where that's may not be feasible anymore. So
that sounds like a marriage from the 50s where one of the wives is all full of Valium and the dad is cheating on everybody going to work and not coming home. I don't want that.
Yeah. But like, it's just, yes, Ed's Emergence has definitely made that available. But I mean, we are to a point to where a trade's probably going to happen. And so right now with this roster the way it is, you're going to have to live with it. And who knows, we may make it the bottom end of a play-in at that point. But you're just going to live with it right now because right now, yes, what the season's going to turn into if Ja's traded and nothing gets resolved, the way people have it in their heads that would be the best possible scenario is that watch Cedric Howard emerge, make the tail end of a play-in, and end all be all get a draft pick.
Yeah, it's tough this year because you can say, I like this question because you've got it's a lot. It's really easy to say when everyone's healthy, when you really just have one guy you need to worry about. It's a lot easier to say that if it was just Ja we were saying about that. But when it turns out you're having a 7'4" big or 7 foot big man named Zach Edey who is impacting the game positively in every single way, who also can't stay healthy, you can't. It's really tough to bank on your 7 foot guy with foot problems and your guy that attacks the rim like John Morant, and to rely on both of them at the same time is really tough. If you just choose to rely on one, then Cedric's emergence is making it a little bit easier to only have to rely on one of those guys, and that's the big fella. I think they're seeing the potential might be there.
I'll say this about Edward asked the question for all those that are listening to the podcast. He said, "Are we saying said ceiling is higher than 12 and Jaren's?" I would say his ceiling is about as high as it can possibly be. And I'll say it because historically, you don't win championships with a star player that is a non-shooting, slight of frame point guard. You just don't do that. Even the Philadelphia 76ers never won a championship. They got to the finals in a pretty weak Eastern Conference with Allen Iverson, but Allen Iverson could actually shoot the ball too, right?
Yeah.
Like he was a fantastic shooter, or at least a threat from the 3-point line. Ced's physical capabilities, size, arm span, wingspan, his ability,
tangibles,
the intangibles around Cedric coming in were so intriguing because you look at the list of guys that are 6'5", 6'6" with over 7 foot wingspans in the history of the NBA. It's not a very long list, and every one of them are Hall of Famers.
Yep.
I wish I had the list in front of me. I do not have it, but I've seen it and it was shocking. You know, the level of player that comes in. And so then you see the numbers and you're like, the numbers that he produced in college, and you're like, okay, this is college. We get it. And it was D3, D2, and then he played for a couple of games in D1. And you go, all right, well, all those things translated from every place that he went, whether what level he was at when he went up a level, every time he went up, it translated to those numbers stayed consistent. So then the expectation would be the physical intangibles plus the efficiency in which he shoots the ball, the way he plays the game, the film that we saw, the numbers that are being produced. You say to yourself, if he produces like this in the NBA, then the ceiling is astronomically high for him, which is why David Thorpe called him baby Michael Jordan. Right?
Yeah.
Like the ceiling is as high as it can possibly be. He's not attained that ceiling. That ceiling is not there. But we're seeing, even in this season alone, guys, in 39 games, we've seen multiple different, like you could break down this season based on new things that Ced has added to his game. Every 10 games, he's added something new to his game, whether it be He started shooting threes. He was shooting a lot of threes in the preseason. Wasn't making any of them. Made 0, in fact. All of a sudden, in the start of the regular season, he starts making threes. Then all of a sudden, you start seeing him get into the basket. You're like, oh, okay, shit. Like, now he's getting to the basket. All the while, he's rebounding and assisting at the same time. He's doing all those things. Then he gets into a rut where he's like, only shooting threes, only going to the basket. All right, let me add a one dribble pull-up jumper to my game. Oh, my God, that is about as clean as it could possibly look. And then now what he's added to it is defensive rebounding, push up the floor to the rim, all the way to the basket, fouls and ones, layups, pushing the ball. You see development. And so as this trend continues, if the ceiling is as high as it can possibly be, then I would say his ceiling is higher than what the obvious flaws of Jaren and Ja's game have. And that's we know what those things are.
You know what we see on a regular basis too? We see Sed's development. Dude's played in like every game this year. Twisted his ankle. We were waiting to see how much time he was going to miss. He missed a game. Did he even miss a game? He missed one game. Two. You know, it's like, you know what we see in front of our eyes a lot. We see a lot of Cedric Coward growing in front of our eyes. We don't see Jared, or we don't see Josh, play a lot. It's easier to fully believe in something that you see with your own eyes. Yep.
Luke taking the words right out of my mouth. You don't see Ja playing. You don't see Jaren really. You see him taking baby steps, but then taking 3 steps back. So he just trips over himself like a baby giraffe. But you're watching Cedric Coward, yes, even as a rookie, learn the game within the game and apply it to himself. And you're seeing him actively work through that.
Yeah. And I think Cedric's development helps the Grizzlies in these moments where those stagnated periods of offense happen in the third quarter, where you need a guy who can just go off and get you 3 buckets in a row, just to stem the tide, just to keep the momentum going, do something crazy, do something spectacular. That happens. And I think we could see him do that. I think he could become that guy for this team. All right, we got 2 more topics I want to discuss. One of them is Grizzlies related. One of them is not. Go ahead.
We have somewhere to be at 6. I just wanted to hop in for a minute and chat it up with you guys. So
shout out to you, man.
So,
appreciate it, bro. Hey, go make sure your house isn't burning down.
Yeah, I really think it's that light because it was flickering behind me before Amy turned it off. So, but no, we got somewhere to be at 6. But appreciate y'all for letting me hop in for a little bit.
All right,
yeah, brother.
See you, brother.
See y'all.
All right, let's get to this. Jared brought it up while he was in here. Shout out. All right, get whiskey out of here. Shout out to
I was like, wait, where was that?
That was whiskey being crazy. Shout out to Jared for bringing this up. But dude, we need to have a Jock Landale appreciation segment. Bro, how great has he been for the Grizzlies this year?
It's more than what the doctor ordered. Like, in terms of he's had more double doubles, I think, this season than he has his entire career. I think Brev said tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna see if I can get that pulled. I mean, I won't have time to pull that up. I can't multitask, but he has been amazing. And you want to talk about guys that you can trust? I trust Jock Landale. And in this season, you want to talk about the guys that you can truly appreciate what they're doing and what, I mean, the rebound that he got at the end of the game, that where he was like, that's mine. That is mine. And none of you had like 3 guys around him. He took it. That won the game. I mean, that was maybe that combined with the threes from Sed and the threes from Cam. It's like, that's, oh yeah, let's put this up. Mike's absolutely, is there anybody on this team that puts in more effort than Jock Landale? Anybody?
No, I mean, dude, he is a freaking rabid dog with the ball. When he wants to get the ball, he is going to get the ball. He doesn't take there are moments where you go, okay, that 4-foot little turnaround jumper, maybe that might not be the best shot in this moment, but he's been one of the most consistent 3-point shooters for the team this entire year.
Second best one after Cam.
Second best after Cam, which is shocking. That's just unbelievable numbers.
Yep.
And then again, the level of physicality that he brings, the energy and the effort that he brings to the glass. Brevin Knight said it perfect. He said it in the game today. or is it Pete? Maybe Pete said it. 50% of his total rebounds this year have been offensive rebounds. Extra shots, extra possessions for this Grizzlies team that are in dire need of all of those. They need extra possessions and extra shots every single game. Jacques Landale has been a guy who every time he's in the game, he is a threat to extend the game out for the Grizzlies possessions wise, because he rebounds the offensive boards in a crazy way. It's unbelievable. He won the game tonight with 2 late offensive rebounds that absolutely propelled the Grizzlies forward. It wasn't a highlight reel dunk, but it was a highlight reel worthy moment where it was, I want this more than you, and I'm going to take it from you.
And the finesse and the touch that the dude has around the basket is just like compared to, Steve-O used to get us offensive boards by just being bigger than everybody else. Jock isn't bigger than everybody else down there, and he's got to work harder. And Mike's absolutely right. If he was 3 inches taller, he'd be Steve-O with a 3. He puts all the effort in. He gets his arms in like every nook and cranny and just like pulls the ball. He's been one of the most impressive guys to watch this season, and he's playing out of position. He's playing out of his role. This dude's playing double the amount of minutes he would be playing if Zach Edey were healthy.
He's playing in a role that he's never played in the entire time he's been in the NBA. And it's such a cool moment for him, because I would suspect that moving forward, other GMs and other teams are looking at this and going, well, damn, like this dude might be better than what we thought, right? And what we've seen in the past while he was with Houston, while he was with Phoenix, we're seeing more. We're seeing more out of him. I would love for the Grizzlies to be able to hold on to Jock as long as they can possibly hold on to him. But they signed him to a 1-year, $2.24 million vet minimum contract.
Yeah, is that what he's on?
He is on the most. Him and Cam Spencer have absolutely in every way outplayed their roster, their contract. He's making $2.5 million this year, and they're both the top 3-point shooters on their team. Cam is one of the top 2 in the entire game, and they are just without Cam, without Jock. This is the Jock Landale appreciation segment. Without Jock Landale, it would be, I think, stunning to see where this team would be. And I agree with what Jared said. He said, man, we could absolutely put a couple of wins in the win column because of Jock Landale this year and what he's done.
In my mind, for some reason, I thought we had him on like a 3-year, $2 million, like a Killian Tilly type deal. Shout out Killian Tilly.
He is on a 1-year, $2.24 million vet minimum contract.
That's
absurd.
Someone's going to pay that man money this offseason, I would imagine. I mean, that might be, he might be one that we lose. God, that's so much. That's such little money.
There's like a real live budding bromance in the comment section right now. Mikey says, hot take, I'd let Santi walk before Jock. Obviously, as an Aussie who absolutely can't stand Santi, this is music to Wayno's ears. And he says, my guy, did we just become best friends? Hey, Mike, I'm going to be honest with you. Wayno is a fantastic friend to have. He will draw pictures of you and send them randomly to you.
And
so
it makes
just
you feel
be careful.
It
makes you feel glorious. He makes me look a lot better looking than I really am. So shout out to him.
It's great.
He's a great friend to have, Mike.
He's a great friend to have. He's and you know what? Jock's our second favorite Aussie after Wayno.
Exactly.
King Meeks, get out of here. Yeah, King Meeks is absolutely right. You know, our luck, something like this will happen. You know, something like this will happen in the offseason or something.
King, stupid. Bro, me and you got beef, bro. Me and you got beef. Next time I see you, man, I'm gonna have to thump your forehead, I think, a little bit. I'm just joking.
Man,
I wouldn't do that.
We might have to I'm gonna have to do some research on one of my shows this week. This has to be the best vet minimum signing in the league this year, I would imagine, in terms of impact and because like most vet minimum guys aren't Yeah. This is absolutely right. We are seeing it. Thank God the Cam Spencer deal is more than 1 year, because that's going to age like the finest of wines.
Yeah, shout out to Jock, man. He's been incredible. He was incredible tonight. Just, I mean, doing everything. 9 rebounds. I will say he might be the worst FanDuel parlay bet ever. He'll never get 10 rebounds. He always gets 9. Yep. Right? Like it. So don't be careful. I would say tread lightly betting on Jock Landale to get you double-digit rebounds, because he always gets 9, never gets 10.
We're not. Please keep going, Jock. We don't want you to stop. It's just, if you build in your parlay, maybe just leave him out. Leave him out.
He said you got you a bottle of Blue Top and Everclear. The Blue Top I'll take. The Everclear, I think you want me to run naked down the streets of Collierville, man. I'm not trying to do that. Absolutely not. Nope.
Just had a physical reaction.
All right. Shout out, the Grizzlies are headed to Europe right now. Actually, they're headed there as we speak. They got what are the games? What days are the games? Let me look at this real quick. They're coming up. We said, I think
Thursday.
Jared said we got
the 5th. I made a banner.
Did you make a banner? Look at you.
I got you.
Up next, Orlando Magic, January 15th in Berlin, and then they go. Is it the 2 days later they go to England and play against the Orlando Magic?
No, it's in Berlin both times, right? Or did I make that?
I think it's London and Berlin.
2 days, 3 days later. It's Thursday and Sunday.
One in Berlin, one in London.
You're right. London is the Sunday game.
Playing Orlando twice. Have you ever seen a team play 2 teams back to back, or 2 teams back to back, like twice, like the Grizzlies have? They did it once in LA, 2 games against the Lakers in a row, and now they're playing Orlando in a row. So
it does feel. I mean, it's like a baseball series, right? It does feel a little weird. I just hope they travel well, man. These Amazon Prime games, I don't know. The audience that people see, and you know what? This is Thursday in the middle of the day. Ain't nobody else going to be doing anything. There's nothing else on during these times. I mean, this Berlin game is at 1 p.m. on Thursday.
They will make this game be they're going to put a lot of energy into promoting these games. So shout out to them. Black Ninja DJ says Edie is traveling with the team to Europe. Is that true? Because he's not been on the road with them lately. As he's been recovering from this injury or from this inflammation, I've not seen him on the road with the Grizzlies on the bench. Is he actually? Is this true? Like, do we know that this for a fact that he's going? Because if he's going, I agree with Joel. He's going to play.
Well, and because Christian Coloco is almost at the end of his second 10-day, I think, so he's going to be limited in how many physical days, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I don't know. I was about to ask you, how long can a 10-day contract go?
I think
it's 10 days. It's 10 days. I think it's not. It's 10 days. When did I can? You know what? You know who will help me do this?
You think that's true?
Grizz PR.
Wayno's been saying this for a while. I've been looking forward to the Berlin trip. I think it'll do wonders for the team chemistry. You agree with that?
I think road trips are great for chemistry no matter what. I really, really do. I think it's a good way to clear vibes, get shit out, get everything out on the floor, and be like, you're trapped in a being trapped in a plane for that long. You got to talk to somebody. Heroin capital of Europe.
Joel is wild.
Black tar, man. That's some good stuff. I don't know. I think. I mean, you remember the U.S. Olympic team when they were all those group bonding photos for. I think it's good. Lets the vibes get cleared out. Let everybody be okay. I'm trying to find when Christian Coloco. Here we go. Christian Coloco signed this contract on the 2nd. So yeah, tomorrow's. So I don't think Coloco can go on this road trip.
Wow. Wow. It sounds like Edie's going to be coming back soon. Then Black Ninja GA said came from T.I. himself.
Okay.
Shout out. The Edie will be traveling to Berlin and London. I hope they give him a shot to play. Man, how great would that be to see him back out there? It's going to be fun games. Orlando's kind of get back games with Orlando. the return of Desmond Bain to play against the Memphis Grizzlies, even though he's not coming to Memphis, but it's going to be a fun games, I think. Shout out to the Grizzlies. Let's get some dubs on the win or on the road. Anything else? Anybody else got anything they want us to talk about before we get out of here? Oh, yeah. Apparently, Mike's taking these as shots against Ja. Maybe. He might be. He might be taking shots against Ja. I don't know. It's not difficult.
It's not.
It's called low-hanging fruit.
It's called low-hanging fruit, yes. My dog can get it. It's so low.
Play ball. That's all. Come on. All right. Last thing, bro. We got to talk about the Chicago Bears.
Oh yeah, man. So last time they won a playoff game, it was in the first Obama administration. The 15-year-old kid that lives in our house was less than a year old, man. I've not been that stressed out. And like, it is as much that Caleb Williams throw on 4th and 8 to Roma Dunze with somebody grabbing his foot. Most important throw I think I've seen in my life as a Bears fan from a Bears quarterback. And watching the end of that game, I was like, he's got too much time. Jordan Love's got too much time. And I'll be damned if Matt LaFleur just didn't shit the bed. Pardon my language. But like I think it was a plethora of things. One, this Bears team, thank God I quit drinking because they've stressed me out so much this year, man. The cardiac arrest Bears coming back like 6 or 6. I think this was the 7th game that they were like trailing in the fourth quarter, and they came back and won.
Crazy.
It's nuts, man. And I told myself I wasn't going to believe in it until it was real. And the fact that they beat the Packers twice in like 2 months, one in Soldier Field in the snow to advance to the next round of the playoffs feels pretty stinking real. And so I think I'm giving myself over to it.
It is awesome to be able to look at the last couple of years of Caleb Williams' growth as the quarterback for the Bears and say, thank God they didn't give up on him.
Yes.
Right?
When Eberflus was ahead of the ship, man, like it would have been so stinking easy.
Yeah.
Man. Doesn't have it. Kid doesn't. It's like, hey, the kid doesn't have it. It's bad body language, he's not communicating with his coach. We got to move on. And thank God they didn't. Thank God Ben Johnson waited because I'm a big fan of his too. I think he's really. I wish he would calm the creativity down a little bit, going for fourth and goal 3 times in the first half when you whatever. But it's inspiring football what they're doing, and I'm excited. I know. I don't know if you saw Lil Wayne's tweet this morning, but it was my favorite thing. It's like filled with expletives, and he's like, bum ass Packers, bear ass, I'm eating bear. It's just like really funny. And then Caleb Williams just retweeted Iceman. It just I'm all in. I'm all in, baby. And you know what? Man. We're gonna either get the Rams. Who won? Are the Eagles winning?
I have not been able to keep up with the score. We had a volleyball tournament all week. Eagles are up 16-10 and 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Talk about inspiring football. God, I hate it.
Yeah, right. Apparently, George Kittle just tore his Achilles.
Oh my God.
Woo.
That's brutal. Well, yeah, let's not talk about that. That's a bummer. Let's talk about something. Yeah, Bears won. I'm happy.
All right. Last thing before we get out of here. BV Carter asked any updates, or BC Varder. Maybe I'm BC Varder. Any updates on Ty Jerome or SPJ? Nothing yet. Ty Jerome's leg amputation and his what's the word? Not amputation. When you give someone a new
transplant.
His leg transplant surgery has apparently been successful. He's taken all the immunosuppressants so that his leg's not rejected. And from what I understand, he has not had to re-up his wardrobe to be able to stay current on the Grizzlies bench. Hopefully he comes back soon.
And I think SPJ's foot is growing back. I think it's growing back at a proper rate. That's some Harry Potter shit. What's happening with his foot? I don't even know. It's like,
did you ever think at the beginning of this season that we would be sitting here January 11th in the year of our Lord 2026 and not having seen a single damn Ty Jerome minute for the Grizzlies?
No.
No.
In August, I was talking about how he was a 6 man of the year favorite.
I
love
it is
being
B
wrong.
Carter. Use the V instead of A. Shout out Carter. Absolutely.
Love it.
B
Love
Carter.
it.
Someone said, do we think Carter asked, do y'all think we'll see Zach Edey in Berlin? According to T.I. and Black Ninja DJ, who said it in the comment section, T.I. said after the game today, maybe, that Zach Edey will be traveling with the team to Berlin and to London. They don't take players on that trip unless they're expecting them to play. So I would suspect we'll see some minutes out of him.
Yep. That would be dope.
I know you haven't had a chance to because, and I want to say shout out to Shams for dropping the Ja Morant trade news about 15 minutes before the Anthony Sane show went live, which meant the Daily Grind and the $2 Sports Show hasn't had a chance to talk about this. I'm gonna hold you on this. I want to hear your thoughts tomorrow on the Daily Grind about the Ja Morant news. We'll hold it for now.
I've already. And tell you what, man, I was sick all day Friday, so I missed the news entirely. I got out of my sickness and I was like, "What in the hell?" What?
You did text us. You'd be like, "What the fuck did I miss?"
I didn't know what happened. I was like, in the morning, I was like, "Okay, cool, injury report. We're gonna win this game. Josh fine, everything's good." And then I woke up and I was like, okay.
Why is everything in the upside down right now?
That's what happened.
What just happened?
Me and Rusty are going to talk about it first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, we're going to
absolutely tune in at 7:27 tomorrow morning with the Daily Grind. Luke will be back. Rusty will be there. And then the $2 at 11 on Monday, and then Anthony at 1 on Monday. We got a lot to talk about. Jalen said, "Damn, y'all still going? Yeah, we're about to leave, bro.
We have fun here."
Hey, shout out Jalen. Jalen is I love Jalen. That dude's a trip. All right, Grizzlies win 103-98. Come back from a 8-point deficit with 2 minutes left in the game to beat the hapless Brooklyn Nets 103-98 behind Jock Landale, Cedric Coward, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Cam Spencer. Shout out to you guys, Luke. You're the man, dude.
Nah, you the man. Bear down.
All right. Bear down. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 7:30 with the Daily Grind.